Horny Lapua grass. It's honey. Honey. Not horny. Honey, actually. It's honey. It's honey. Honey Lapuma grass? I don't know. Brass. Honey. Like I said, the honeys. If you go back to ancient times, there's this tribe. It was Japanese, I believe, or Chinese. I forget. Lee, the Lee family, Lee, like the Lu family or whatever. I believe they are Asians or whatever. I forget. Horny Lapua brass. It's they sometimes they say Hong Li or whatever. It's honey, I believe. The original family name was Honey, Hun Li or Han Li. I don't know. Anyway, like I said, Li is, I believe, Asian or Oriental, basically. I forget exactly. Yeah. I love you. I'm sorry. I know. Like, well, I don't know. Are you okay? Like I said, the honeys. Ancient, long ago, they had these wooden ships, and like I said, they would put the hives on the ships, the main hives, and they would take the beehives, and they would I think they were my ships or something like that. I forget. I remember them. And they would row the ships around or sail the ships around, and then they would take the hives up the little canals, and they would drop the hives off, and they would collect the honey from the hives and stuff like that. It was a bunch of women or something like that. It was ancient, long ago. From the first beehives. Like I said, there's this temple or this cave where the beehives, where we put the beehives, and we had people selling the honey, and they would make this whatever stuff that they would share out with the people. That was like honey and I think some grain or something like that. I forget exactly. And they would feed the villagers and the people with it and stuff like that. But it was this this Asian group that had all these honey ships, or bee honey ships basically, and they had all these beehives, and they would go from place to place to place to place, sail around the world and stay ahead of the cold. Like I said, cold spells would happen and it would kill off the hives. But there was this one cave or this one place where the bees were living, basically. Eventually, like I say, this is how we get into the African honeybee or whatever, where we made a honeybee that would make more honey or something, or bred a honeybee and then made its genes dominant or something like that. They're also slightly more aggressive, maybe. My fault, I think. Anyway, like I say, I used to know about dominant genes and all that other stuff, and stuff like that. It's also how we corrected the human race, or made the human race look better, or something like that. So, anyway, yeah, whatever. Anyway, it gets all confusing and stuff like that. So, yeah. Anyway, like I said, you don't have to kill off people. You just simply introduce a person with a different set of genes. And then those genes basically just spread around the world, and basically your people become like that, or something like that. It's a very simple way of slowly changing society. Like I said, originally people had these yellow curved yellow teeth, and I was like, well, can't they? I wanted to make them white, and so yeah. So we introduced something, and slowly but surely the babies came out that way. And like I said, a lot of people, some people seeing the way their babies looked, freaked out maybe, and didn't consider the babies whatever. Anyway, like I say, making changes in civilization, making changes to life forms, sometimes the changed life forms get ousted or ostracized or whatever, or pushed out because they're different or strange or better. Anyway, it gets all confusing, and like I say, you don't really have to kill off or be like. And I always wanted to discourage people from thinking that you're so much better than the other people, because you're not. You're just different. You just have a different set of genes that make you a certain way. That does not make you better. That does not make you any different than the others. You just have some other genes. So, anyway, like I say, I'm the creator. And the original Lucifer star. So, like I said, I'm just on vacation. I was just on vacation having a life, basically. Taking time out from my normal 100 trillion year whatever. Anyway, whatever. Like I say, I don't really care. It doesn't really matter. I mean, technically, I'm retired. I told that to people as I was tied to a chair. I was like, well, actually, I'm kind of retired. I used to do that. Now I'm retired. Whatever. Like I was just taking a vacation, or whatever. Doesn't really matter to me. Anyway, but yeah, I do remember the Hunleys, and somebody eventually attacked the ship or something for the gold or the money they had. And they killed the women and sunk the ship or something. Anyway, the Hunleys were worried or upset or thought that I would mind or I'd care about the money. And I think I actually put a bounty on the people who had attacked the honey ship. Like I said, it was a ship being run by all females. Anyway, somebody attacked the ship, burned it, and raped or killed the women or something like that. I don't really remember what happened to them. But you can look it up for a honey ship. Bee honey. And females. Anyway, they were good people. They had a couple men with them or something like that. I don't really know. It was an ancient Chinese ship or something. I don't really remember. So anyway, yeah. I think it might have been someone like JFK or whatever. Like I said, JFK or Nixon or some people in the world were very upset because, well, I mean, they were scared because they found out eventually that, yeah, well, I mean, everybody owed a life of servitude or a life of, well, not really servitude, but I mean, you were all my life forms. And so, like I say, it was Jimmy Carter and Richard Nixon and some other people. Jimmy Carter was trying to live forever and basically, he wanted to keep everyone from knowing about me. And to basically, take over forever or something like that. But like I said, I mean, eventually he met my other life forms, my 1.5s and my exoskeletons, and, I guess they straightened everything out. I wish I could have seen it. I wish I could have been there. Like I said, my exoskeletons, they're hardened shells. They're nearly bulletproof. Nearly bulletproof. Armor-piercing rounds could probably puncture their shells, but they're nearly bulletproof and sentient and intelligent. And my 1.5s are very small, fast life forms that live on heavy gravity worlds. So normally they wouldn't be on a planet like this, but anyway, they came here because I was going to be here, or I was here. So anyway, whatever. Like I said, good luck with that. You'll find out a lot of interesting details about the past and the history and everything else like that. And like I said, eventually you'll go to space. See, the thing was the American government, or basically Trumpy or Nixon, or Trumpy or someone, well, right now, what they're trying to do, the American government was caught trying to take over other planets, or trying to basically do espionage. All the things that they were trying to do in the 1950s and 1940s with espionage and secrets and stealing technology and keeping technology from the people. Well, they were trying to do that on other planets. So, like I said, they eventually caused a problem for my 1.5s and my exoskeletons, and they basically realized that they were all having the same problem from the same directions and the same people, and basically went and dealt with it. So, I said a few people, and like I said too, some other life forms that I hadn't created and I hadn't actually been a part of. Like there were other life forms out there in the universe that eventually were very old or very powerful or something like that. And eventually, like I said, somebody was trying to take over everything that was mine, or trying to subvert all life in the universe. And basically they got out there and they got so far as to meet one of those other life forms. Anyway, so, and like I said, life is generally curious anyway, and wants to find oddities or interesting things. Lots of life forms are curious in the universe. I was curious and stretchy and all that other stuff. So, anyway, like I said, it's a big, 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 big universe with lots of life forms out there. Lucifer Star, me, I was one life form. Anyway, and I built ships and led people and was very rich and powerful and whatever. But, it's like whatever. I like to build, so, and I did a lot of it. You see, Lot of it. In fact, enough to build a whole nother galaxy. 4 or 5 or 12 of them. Well, the first 12 or something like that, I don't really know. Like I said, I don't really know. I don't really care. But I built quite a few stars or suns or something like that. And like I said, my exoskeletons were building for me, or building with me. And so were my 1.5s. And other life forms. So anyway, 100 trillion year existence, basically. That led to the creation of the human race. And females. So anyway, like I say, whatever. That's basically the way it is. And like I said, paintball, and like I said, the North Koreans and the South Koreans contacted me, and the North Koreans said they wanted to do war games or practice against one another. Basically play around with the warships pretty much. And I said, okay, as long as you don't kill each other, that's fine. But I don't want you killing each other. So they were working on ways that they wouldn't have to kill each other or hurt each other. Because, I mean, they're both technically, North Korea and South Korea. One's supposed to be the civilian sector, one's supposed to be the whatever sector. So I was like, all right, well, as long as you don't actually kill each other, then yes, you can do war games or mess around with each other. But no killing. I mean, I have all these big, beautiful battleships. I have all these huge, like I said, I have all these beautiful cannon ships and all these beautiful tanks all around the world. And it's like, they wanted to practice. So, it's like, what's the point of having all these beautiful, all these lines of tanks and you can't actually use them or do anything with them? So, they wanted to go and fight each other and do war games and have fun or something like that. So I was like, all right, I guess if you're just going to be practicing, as long as you're not actually going to be killing each other, then